Swami Sahajananda recorded this lecture in 1988. He was the spiritual head of the Divine Life Society of South Africa, and in this lecture he is talking to little girls between ages 7 and 14, all about Master Sivananda.
Sit quietly. If you shake, that means you waste energy. You must be like a tin soldier. And today, being also the birthday of Swami Ramdas, he was a great saint, born on Hanuman Jayanti. See, according to Hindu philosophy and Hindu religion, we are born again and again. See, we take many, many births so that in the end, when we get perfection, when we are thoroughly purified, then we realize God. See, that is called samadhi. And when you attain samadhi, and it is so marvelous, the state of samadhi and God realization is so marvelous that you can never even imagine in your mind, see, what it is like. See, it is not like any of the small pleasures that you get. See, it is a very great and marvelous experience. Today we feel that, oh, money is wonderful and motorcars are wonderful and ashrams are wonderful and we've got wealth and power. But beyond everything, there's a state called samadhi. Once a great saint came in my dream and he gave me some experience of that state. See? And I found that I was out of the body. It was so marvelous, I prayed to the saint that please don't take me back. But he didn't listen to me at all. That saint was Master Yogananda. See? Only now we think that, but when you come to the state, all the things we don't, when you're in that state, you don't think of the printing press or your friends or this, because your whole mind is engrossed. So, that is the state that we have to attain. And when you attain that state, the final samadhi, not only you must attain it, but you must keep it with you all the time. See, that means it's not that sitting quietly and closing your eyes and now entering into samadhi and feeling God inside. That's half the story. But when you come out of the state, then you must try to bring that state into the waking state, and all the time you must enjoy samadhi. When you're eating, sitting, walking, dreaming. And the saints, they enjoy samadhi even when they are dreaming. See? Ramana Maharishi was a great saint, and the disciples used to recite verses in his presence, and he would be snoring. So saints snore, and I think Gurudev also snored a lot. See? And the moment they made a mistake, he should quickly correct them. That means to say that the saint knows everything. It also reminds me of another story of Yogananda. And Swami Omkar was a great saint. In the early days he went to America. Yeah, and that is the ashram from which Jnaneshwari is going to come. Swami Omkar passed away, so she is the successor. So she is coming from there. You will probably see her end of the year. So when it was the very early days, and things were very difficult for the saints. Yogananda had to live for days and days on tomato juice only. See? And then of course today he built a very big organization, one of the best in the world. So they had no bed at all. So both the saints slept on the bed. And for the whole night, Yogananda was snoring. See? And so Yogananda couldn't sleep at all. And then next morning he said, Swamiji, I don't know what you're doing, but it looks like some kind of pranayama you're practicing. See? Because I couldn't sleep, I thought you were doing some sort of advanced pranayama. See? So after you attain samadhi, then you will bring it to the waking state, and you find clear evidence in Gurudeva's case also. See? So you can't deceive them. So that samadhi must be enjoyed all the time. Whatever you are doing, sitting, walking, see, you'll find in Gurudeva's books, it was written the other day, he was talking to the people and he said, he told one, you know, such and such a place, you'll build such and such an ashram. It will be by the river. And then he started talking to the people. And then the next day he said, you know, in such and such a place, such and such a thing is going to happen. And everything that he said happened. They don't have to go into a trance or anything like the people do now. See? So that is what you call samadhi. So that is why whatever you do, you must know that Gurudev is watching you. See? He's here right in present. If you try to open the fridge very, very quietly, thinking that Mummy is not looking, see, then someone else is looking. See? So next time you open the fridge very quietly to take the Coke, then you got to watch out. So after you attain samadhi, you have a choice. Either you can merge in God completely and finish off, or you can take birth again if you want to serve people. See? So many saints take birth, like Gurudev and Swami Sahajananda and Mother Krishna Bai. They realize God in the previous birth, but they take birth just for our sake to teach us. See? So Swami Sahajananda was one such saint who took birth. See? Sometimes, of course, they don't always manifest the sainthood from the beginning. So Papa was an ordinary boy. He used to go to school, and like most children, he used to truant. See? He used to run away from school and hide. But wherever he used to hide, the teachers would come and find him out and pull him out from there. See? And he was an absolute failure in everything that, just imagine, he was an absolute failure in everything. He couldn't do arithmetic, he couldn't do anything at all. But what he liked to do was to climb trees. See? He used to like to jump about like a monkey. Perhaps he got that instinct from Hanuman, because it was Hanuman's birthday that he was born. So he'll jump from one tree to another. If he starts in one tree, then you'll find out he'll be found on another tree. See? So he led an ordinary life, and things went like that, and then he got married. See? He had one child, and when the call of God comes, then everything changes. See? Now the call of God came, see? And he started saying Ram Nam. See? Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. See? And all the time he'd be saying Sri Ram. So one day his father called him. His father became his guru. He said, my child, you repeat this mantra, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, and you get eternal bliss. And that is all the instruction the Guru gave him. See? No other instruction his father gave him. And the disciple was so great, Papa was so great, that he explicitly followed his Guru's instructions, his father's instruction, and he started repeating the mantra, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. See? And he simplified his life, he cut down his meals, because nothing interested him now, only Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram interested him. See? And when he was walking in the street, he was mumbling under his breath. See? And when he attended bhajan parties, he'd close his eyes and be lost in singing the bhajans and hearing the bhajans. He became one of the greatest saints that the world has produced. See? So thereafter he started going everywhere throughout India, traveling up and down all the time, Sri Ram, Jai Ram. And for 6 months he didn't sleep. he was afraid that he'll forget Ram Nam. See? All the time it was repeating Ram Nam. So, and then Ram Nam sinks into your cells, into your body cells, your brain cells, and every part of your clothes and everything starts repeating. See? And the water that you use to bath, that also starts repeating. So, see, people like the water that the saint uses to bath, see, because it's full of that Shakti. All these things might be Greek to you, but later on when you learn, then you'll understand the meaning of all these things. See? Because with your inner vision you can see, with your outer eyes you cannot see. So he started traveling everywhere in India, and he went to Ramana Maharshi, see, a great saint in India. And Ramana Maharshi blessed him, and Swami Ramdas went into one of the caves in Tirunelveli, and he started Ram Nam. I also went to one of those caves. I don't know whether it was the same cave. And there for the first time he had a vision of God. See? And he could see God everywhere, in the plants and in the trees, in the stones. The vision started coming. And everywhere where he turned, he saw God. And in that way, when a man came, he went and embraced him. And the man got such a shock, not knowing why Papa came and embraced him. But Papa felt that he was God. See? So right through he traveled, and all the stories are given in Quest of God, the first volume, and in the Vision of God, it's the second volume. They are one of the most famous books in the world. See? And he traveled up and down India, everywhere, made many trips to Uttarkasi and to the north, to the ashrams. He was very humble. See? If anyone prostrated to him, flat on the ground, Papa would prostrate to them flat on the ground. See? Wherever he saw only God. See? And all the time Ram Nam was going on in the mind. And then in the end, when Ram Nam became permanent, and when God became permanent, see? Because even if you see the vision of God, you can lose it. See? So you've got to go on meditating until it becomes permanent. See? So then it became permanent, and then he opened an ashram at Kasaragod. And there it was that Mother Krishna met him. Her husband had passed away. She had 2 children. And because she was not there when her husband was alive, she wanted to go to her parents' place, and her husband said, don't go. And Mother Krishna insisted. See? Insisted on going. And meantime, her husband passed away. And that filled her with so much remorse that she turned to God. And twice she wanted to take her life away. She was fed up with life. See? And then she went to Swami Ramdas and got the Ram Nam. And just imagine a person who wanted to commit suicide twice became one of the greatest saints in the world. Today, Mother Krishna is one of the few living saints. Hundreds of Americans go to Ananda Ashram. See? And if you see a picture, you'll never think that she's a human being. She's like a celestial being. Her complexion is like that of a child. She has blue eyes. So compassionate, so merciful. Whatever money comes today, it will be given away tomorrow. So charitable. What do we know about giving? Once a man came, he said, Mataji, I'm very poor. I don't know how to eke out a livelihood. There are a lot of cows in the ashram because she likes cows. He said, don't worry, I'll give you a cow. So she took the best cow from the ashram and gave it to him. After a few days he came and said, Mataji, there's nothing to feed the cow. I need hay to feed the cow. He said, don't worry about the hay, I'll supply you with all the hay from the ashram. So the hay was supplied. Another few days went by. He said, Mataji, you know, when I take the milk to the bazaar, they don't give the right price. Why do you want to worry about that? Supply the milk to the ashram and I'll buy the milk. See? That is how the saints, when they give, they give. They don't think like us, or shall I give 100 rand, or shall I give 50 rand donation, or what. See? And Swami Sahajananda was also like that. Maybe later on you'll hear about it. Mother Krishna Bai and Swami Sahajananda were the greatest givers that the world has seen. See? The Swaminandas built, and then people started harming them at Castle Court. So one day they came and attacked Mother Krishna Bai, the thugs, and they threw her over a barrel, and she hurt herself very badly. And they scattered all night soil in the area. See? But Mataji didn't feel anything at all. She cleaned all the night soil nicely. See? And the Papa said that we must move out of this place. And then they came to the place where they are now. And this is the place they said that Hanuman dropped a piece of the mountain. See? And they said that one day a great monkey came to the shrine and prostrated, so that is where the ashram is. So Papa passed away in 1963. He passed away 2 weeks. Gurudev passed away on 14th of July. And Papa passed away, I think, on the 24th of July, 1963. They had very great love for each other, although they didn't see each other. So Mother Krishna Bai is running thus. And Papa has only one answer, that you must say Ram Nam all the time and accept everything as God's will. See? Ram Nam is a secret. See? You learn a lot about it because nothing can help protect you today. See? Your burglar guards and all those things are helpful, but only God's name can protect you. See? Once when Papa was a mill owner, he didn't have money to pay the workers. So he decided that they would attack him. So they all stood by the entrance of the gate with sticks. See? And Papa was not afraid at all. He just smiled at them and just passed through. See? And he was full of jokes and laughter. I stayed with him for some time. And he used to make a roar with laughter, tell us funny stories. See? I stayed there for a couple of weeks, and then now of course Mataji is running the ashram and does everything meticulously. Everything that she does must be done absolutely 100%. If she wraps a little piece of prasad, it must be 100%. See? All the ashram buildings she built. If you go to the toilet, you could even do that, you won't find any dirt. See? But from a room she supervises everything. And she knows all that is going on, because saints know everything that is going on everywhere. You can't deceive them. And she wants everything done perfectly. She asked me one day that I must, they have bhajans at 10 o'clock, and of course the whole day they have bhajans 10 o'clock, and of course in the afternoon. So she said that they was asking me to sing. Naturally, I was shy, so I didn't sing, but she asked that I was sing. And then they asked me to sing, and then I sang, but the next day they didn't ask me. So questioned them, why did you not ask him to sing? And then she gave me a cushion like this to sit. And I very carelessly sat on the cushion. I sat with the cushion one side like that. She asked me to sit nicely on the cushion. See? She said I must sit properly on the cushion. So that is how you do work. Not in a slipshod manner. And everything in the room is so nicely arranged. All the medicine bottles are so straight. See? So when you become a saint, you don't do things in a haphazard manner. You tie your shoelace nicely, you clean your teeth nicely, you keep your books in order. You don't throw things about, you don't scribble, you don't damage things. Because everything has life. I gave someone a cutting this morning. The Arvind Ashram Mother can see life in everything. You see? So she wanted to visit an apartment of one of the devotees. See? The devotee kept everything spick and span, and everything was wonderful because the mother was coming to see it. But all the rubbish, coconut shells and all that, he took it and put it in a small room in the backyard. And when the mother came, the first thing she went to the backyard. And she opened that. And later on, when I asked the mother why, the mother said that the things complained. They said, see how they are keeping us. So don't think that your pencil and your comb and all the things have no life. Everything has life. See, nothing is inert. Many of you are doing electronics, atomic scientists and so on. They say everything is vibrating. See, this book and this table is not just stationary, it's vibrating and full of life, and it's vibrating at a very high speed. Buddha says that we can see it through our inner eye. See? So that is why in the ashram I pay a lot of attention to cleanliness, neatness. See? And these things can talk. Mother also went to a shop to buy some timber for some furniture. And then one timber she bought. And she said that the timber was pleading to us, and Mother, please buy me, I'd like to come to the ashram. See? So even the timbers like to come to the ashram. Now these are not fairy tales. You can prove it, and you can read the life stories, and you can try it. You look after everything nicely, your pencil and your book, and you see how long it will last. It lasts for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It won't. But if you treat it badly, then it doesn't like it at all. And it also responds like a motor car. See? So that is the life story of Papa Swami Ramdas and Mother Krishnabai. See? Many years ago, Papa and Mother Krishnabai wanted to go. They went around the world, and the first place they wanted to come was South Africa. So they asked me to organize a visa. But that time, of course, the government was very strict. And although I gave a person the airfare to go to Pretoria, he cheated me and didn't go at all. See, so we didn't have a chance. See? So that is a great being. See? So if you repeat Ram Nam or any mantra, Guru's name, Krishna's name, see, you'll feel courageous and brave. You don't have to be afraid in walking in the street and walking to school and having 10,000 bodyguards and all that. See? You must be brave and courageous. See? If you are courageous, then nothing can harm you. There was a lady in America, she was walking in a very lonely alley, and a man came with a gun. He said, lady, hand over your bag, otherwise I will kill you. That lady was a highly spiritual lady. She looked right into his eyes and said, you are full of love, you cannot kill me. Then he said, nothing of that sort. Hand over your bag or I shall kill you. And again she looked at him and said, you are full of love, you can't harm me. And the man fled. It's all a question of what thoughts you send from your mind. If you send thoughts of fear, well, you're going to get back thoughts of fear. If you send thoughts of courage and think of Swami Sahajananda, Gurudev, call Gurudev and say, then you won't find it. When I was teaching at the Foda TV settlement, for 4 years I taught there. So I should tell the children that whenever you go into dark, you must say God's name. And they should come and tell me, please, I went into the dark yesterday, I said God's name and I felt brave. So it's a proof of the pudding in the eating. So you must try it out and have no fear at all. Because you're a girl, that doesn't mean to say that you're going to have fear and all that. You must be strong and you must be courageous. See? I'm glad to see that so many of you have come. And I hope that you complete the course, and then you'll have the honor of seeing Jnaneshwari. She's so clean in her habits. So nicely she serves people. See? If we go there, then she'll make sure she'll sit at the table and make sure she serves everything. See? She's very cleanliness conscious. See? And she was just a little girl. See? And Swami Omkar selected a little girl to run his ashram. He didn't take the big people, the elderly people. Jnaneshwari was a small girl. He served Swami Omkar for many years, and he appointed her as secretary. And when a poisonous snake bit her, see, she didn't worry at all. She didn't want to give anyone trouble. See? She bore the pain. So you too can become a Jnaneshwari, you too can become a Mother Krishna Bai. Now the ladies alone are ruling the world. Men have failed. So people are turning to the ladies. A lot of lady saints. The mother of Arvind Ashram was a great saint. Thousands went to her, bowed to her. I also went and saw her. See, Mother Krishna Bai. See, Godamari Mata, Ananda Mohima, and Daya Mata in America. See, Ananda Mohima was a great saint. If I tell you some of the stories, you won't be. She could stop at the train and do whatever she wants. See, she didn't learn anything at all. She didn't get any tuition in school, didn't go, see, but she was very, very methodical and did all the cooking and everything. And she was so obedient. One day she was holding something in the hand. The mother said, "Be careful, no, I drop it," and she dropped it. See, she was so obedient. And then she got married. But she didn't lead a household in life because the husband found that she was a great saint. All the time she was entering into a trance. See? And she had so many ashrams, I also saw her. See? And the same, and they always told Anna, mother, wherever you go, you cause devastation. See? Because people can't leave you at all. They just stick to you like magnets. Indira Gandhi went there and she knew nothing at all, and all the scientists, politicians, mathematicians, and all went to an unlearned person and got the answer. See? So she became one of India's greatest saints. And she could do and undo things. See, she didn't have one ashram, she had many ashrams, so suddenly she said, while she's sitting like this, now I will go to that ashram. And she'll just get up and the others must follow. She'll say, that's God's will. See? Or she'll hear a devotee calling, a devotee might be sick in escort. And suddenly she say, but one devotee, or will say, suppose a small station. He'll say, one of my devotees is calling me, I must go there. I must catch the train. See? They'll say, mother, but the train doesn't stop there. The train goes right through. How are you going to get out? He said, don't worry, just get into the train. And when the train comes to that spot, the train will stop and she'll quickly get down and go. And Andamama just passed away a few years ago. So what I'm telling you is not something in the past like Hans fairy tales and all those kind of things. I'm telling you, see, something that happened, and same thing with Gurudev also. See, whatever is in your mind, it'll happen. See, one of the lawyers, lady lawyers, went to India. She was a devotee of ours. See, she's a lawyer now. She went to the ashram and she was sitting upstairs. And Gurudev always sends people prasad. She said, in South Africa I was getting trifle to eat. I wish I could get some trifle. Within a few minutes the trifle came there. See, the lady was there. You can confirm it with her. So the saints can do and undo anything. That is why we worship them. That's why we say Bhagavan Sivananda, because they can do anything. And if you pray to them, you are praying to God. Whether you pray to God or whether you pray to Bhagavan Sivananda, it's the same thing. But of course later on we must see Bhagavan Sivananda and everyone, not just in Bhagavan Sivananda in that form. So the saints can do wonderful things. See? And they can answer your questions very, very, I think I must stop now, but one more story. Today I was not feeling very well, so I'm going to excuse myself. I feel very fond of getting stomachache. When I overeat or eat wrong foods or eat too often, and then everything starts coming out. And so this was somewhere around 1940, 48, 49 in North Street. See? So I was getting a violent stomachache and usual vomiting episode was also coming. Also, Mr. Naidu's come one day while he was taking me to the doctor. I gave him a specimen of that also. So The next day I was not feeling very well, but I said, never mind. I was teaching at Surety in the school, and I was staying at North Street. So I said, doesn't matter, I'll go to school today. And when I came after school, I was coming in Leopold Street, and all of a sudden, the whole thing started coming. See, your mouth gets frothy, and everything was starting to come. Now I felt very, I said, and I prayed to Gurudev. I said, Gurudev, please, I don't mind vomiting, but not at this place. See, and the moment I said that, the vomiting stopped, and I rushed away so that in case Gurudev changes his mind. So all that you've got to do, you've got to learn to call. The whole secret of spiritual life is given in that word called call. See? You can call anyone. Take Swami Sahajananda and call him. You can call him for everything. You must call him to help you in your exam. You must call him to help you in your writing, to solve your problems. Because all that is bhakti. You don't call God just only because you're sick or something. And if you get in the habit of calling, then later on, of course, you don't worry about it. You say, I wouldn't call God, I wouldn't give God the trouble, see, just for minor thing, I'll ask God for something better. So later on, you learn to ask God for something better. You have made a very great sacrifice. You are the shining jewels, and you are the upholders. Even in India, there are small, I'll show you tomorrow, if I can find that magazine, I'll bring.
Om Sri Sadguru Paramatmane Namah. Om Sri Sadguru Paramatmane Om Sri Sadguru Bhagavan Sivananda Namah. Om Sri Sadguru Bhagavan Sivananda Vishnu, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Pai Ma. Sri Ganesha, Sri Ganesha Raksha Mam. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Pai Ma. Sri Ganesha, Sri Ganesha Raksha Mam. Jai Saraswati, Jai Saraswati, Jai Saraswati Pai Ma. Shri Saraswati, Shri Saraswati, Shri Saraswati Raksha Mam. Jai Saraswati. सरस्वती जय सरस्वती पाहि मां श्री सरस्वती रक्ष मां जय श्री दुर्गा पाहि मां जय श्री दुर्गा रक्ष मां जय श्री दुर्गा पाहि मां जय श्री दुर्गा रक्ष मां जय श्री काली पाहि मां जय श्री काली रक्ष मां जय श्री काली पाहि मां जय श्री काली रक्ष मां जय श्री लक्ष्मी पाहि मां जय श्री लक्ष्मी रक्ष मां जय श्री लक्ष्मी पाहि मां जय श्री लक्ष्मी रक्ष मां शरवण भव पाहि मां सुब्रह्मण्य रक्ष मां शरवण भव पाहि मां सुब्रह्मण्य रक्ष मां दत्तात्रेय पाहि मां दत्त गुरु रक्ष मां दत्तात्रेय पाहि मां दत्त गुरु रक्ष मां शिवानंद पाहि मां शिवानंद रक्ष मां शिवानंद पाहि मां शिवानंद रक्ष मां जय गुरु शिव गुरु हरि गुरु राम जगद्गुरु परम गुरु सद्गुरु श्याम जय गुरु शिव गुरु हरि गुरु राम जगद्गुरु परम गुरु सद्गुरु श्याम आदिलवरवेत गुरु आनंद गुरु ओम श्री गुरु चिगण गुरु चिन्मय गुरु ओम आदिलवरवेत गुरु आनंद गुरु ओम श्री गुरु चिगण गुरु चिन्मय गुरु ओम जय सिया राम 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 जय राधे श्याम 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 जय हनुमान 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 हरे रामा Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto Thee. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Thou art Sachidananda. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptations and to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, greed, anger, and hatred. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us be holy in all these names and forms. Let us serve Thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember Thee. Let us ever sing Thy glories. Let Thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in Thee forever and ever. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jaya Hanuman, Sankat Mochan Kripanida. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jaya Hanuman, Sankat Mochan Kripanida. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jaya
परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि यस्यान्तर्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नामगोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव न भवति पुरुषो नो नपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जननमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं नो तत्त्वं तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः चैतन्यं शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनं नादबिन्दुकलातीतं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अज्ञानमूलहरणं जन्मकर्मनिवारणं ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यार्थं गुरोपादोदकं पिबेत् अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्ति पूजामूलं गुरोपदं मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोर्कृपा ॐ नमः शिवाय गुरवे सच्चिदानन्दमूर्तये निष्प्रपञ्चाय शान्ताय निरालम्बाय तेजसे नित्यशुद्धं निराभासं निराकारं निरञ्जनं नित्यबोधं चिदानन्दं गुरुं ब्रह्मा नमाम्यहम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ओम सद्गुरुदेव की जय।